So you're on BMF. Congratulations, by the way. I think that's
Thank
super
you.
dope. I'm a huge fan of the show in general. Which came first, acting or football?
I mean, I played football. I started at the age of 6, but like my first career, my first job, I was acting at the age of 10.
What got you into acting?
It was just another way for me to express, all of my different feelings, all of my different talents, and the way that I could touch people. Because I was always like the entertainment in the room, the class clown. So when I got the opportunity to, audition for my first movie, it was a no brainer.
How did that opportunity come about?
It was my first movie, Constellation. Jordan Walker Perman was the director. He gave me my first opportunity. It was an open casting call in my hometown, and they flashed it on the news at night. I'm at the dinner table with my family. They put it on the news, and they said they were looking for my description, young
Mhm.
black kid, around my age, and I asked my mom, I'm like, can I do it? And she was like, of course, if that's what you want to do. Next thing you
That's
know,
so wild.
I'm auditioning and I landed. So that's kind of how it worked.
That's so wild. That's one of those stories that it's funny because your career, your life journey took a lot of different, turns, but it's just an interesting story because those are one of those yeah, I saw something audition and we're here now. But that's not
Yeah.
exactly like what happened. You acted for a while, and then
Hmm.
when you got older, you decided to pursue football.
Yeah, like when I landed my first role, they ended up telling us to basically move to LA. I moved to LA for 4 years, and I got multiple roles. And then towards the end of the fourth year, I just wanted to go back and be a kid again. I didn't know I was going to play football. I
So
really
wait, how
wanted to
old were
play
you at this
basketball.
time?
So I had to been around 13, 14. This was
Wow.
yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Okay. You get a role, and then you and your mom, your whole family, you guys uproot all the way to LA.
Well, my brother and my dad, they stayed back in Alabama. Me and my mom, we went to LA. So we kind of had to, you
That is
know,
support.
yeah. That's why I give them all the
That
praise. And
is
they just,
that's
yeah,
so dope. I love hearing stuff like that. That's so dope. And then you're like, you know what? Actually, I want to be a kid.
yeah, yeah,
And she was
absolutely.
supportive
'Cause,
of that too.
of course. I think she was ready to, get back to her husband and see her other son. And me, I just wanted to, I missed out on a lot. I was
Yeah.
homeschool a lot, just working. I was working as a kid, literally. So I just wanted to be a kid again.
So you know what it's like to be a child actor.
Hmm.
What what's something good that you enjoyed about being a child actor, and then what's something that you kind of missed about just being a regular child that made you want to go back?
Um, I would say what I liked about it was I mean just being a kid, I grew up watching all of that, so just idolizing those guys, being able to go out to Hollywood. I'm from a small town in Alabama, so just to go out and live a dream that people really can't even, imagine,
Yeah.
coming from a small town, that was like the best feeling. And what I missed, just being with my friends. I had to adapt and I had to get new friends. I had to leave all my old friends behind and move all the way across country. So that and just, playing organized sports also, because I didn't get to do that out there.
So was organized as in organized sports, I'm assuming football, basketball, baseball, soccer.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, all of it. So I was homeschooled, and I also went to a middle school out there, but the middle school did not have organized, sports. It was really
Really?
just, yeah, it was really just a school for like actor kids. It was different actors there, and they would come in, during pilot season. So we all went to the same school, and we all stayed in the same apartment complex.
Okay, I need a little bit more insight. I've never heard of something like this. So
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something like mandated, but it's just like we all stayed at a apartment complex in Burbank called the Oakwood Apartment. So you name it, you just see different people. I seen Rick James, Lil JJ, B2K. They was all out there back in the day during their prime. Like you just named it, was different
wow.
people out there. And then like 5 minutes down was the middle school. So the kids that stayed there, we would go to that middle school.
That's crazy. That's interesting because I feel like nobody really talks about the school life if you go, because most kids I'm assuming are homeschooled when you're acting, but no one
Yeah,
talks about
real.
the actual schools
Right,
that you
right.
go, and I'm assuming all of your classmates are in the entertainment industry in some form or fashion.
Not all, but you had a few. But yeah, just you have to go get your work, weeks of time, and and I have to, if I'm on set, I would just have to do it that way. I wasn't in the class, so I mean it was difficult. I had to adjust.
Okay, so then you go back to being a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to go to college.
Right.
What made you choose Grambling? I'm an HBCU grad.
I knew it. I knew nothing about Grambling.
Okay.
It was a situation where my other scholarships had fell through. The whole I had broke both of my jaws going into my senior season, so it was just a lot of different things. I was wired down for
Okay,
months.
Kanye.
Yeah, eating through a straw, like 50 Cent, Kanye. I can relate. So that kind of like took my recruitment in different ways, and I ended up not signing with anyone on signing day. And one of my best friends, he ended up signing the Graham, and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna go somewhere and walk on, I'm gonna go with my guy. So that's how I ended up at Grambling.
That's what's up. Now, it sounds like you have like a lot of faith and you believe in yourself a lot because to be wired shut, senior year is important, especially for athletes.
Right.
And not wanting to just be like, let that take hold of you, but
Mm-hmm.
deciding like, okay, well, all right, boom, I can't do this. So now I want to do something like that. Where does your faith come from?
Of course, I'm a Christian man, my faith in God and my family, my support system, and also I'm just really confident in who I am. I try to not to get too high, try not to get too low, and stay realistic. But I never let man tell me what I can't do. So that's why I'm doing, both of my careers simultaneously. I refuse to let anyone say I can't do it.
Okay, now that's a good, segue into this. I heard you turn down 10 teams. Okay, that's some people fight to get on one.
Right.
So how did you manifest to be able to play, be able to have the options to turn down to pursue, both your dreams simultaneously?
For me, it was just a lot of communication with me and my agent, my family, and then again, like I said, just being confident in who I am, being confident in my skill. Going. This is not something I would do early in my career, but now going to year 8, I learned how to be a professional. I know how to take care of my body, and I feel like my body of work proves itself. So if you want me now, you want me later. So that's kind of like how I was betting on myself. I was doing something that I was committed to, so I had to finish BMF before I commit to anything else. I wasn't going to, halfway be here, halfway be there. So again, I felt like if you wanted me then, you want me later, and that's kind of how I played it out.
So are you still shooting the series? Is it still in production?
No. So we're done with season 2, but
Okay.
we're about to start season 3 in a few weeks. So I'm about to go back to work.
Oh, so wait, so are you gonna be back on the field?
Yeah, I'm gonna be back on the field. But it'll be after I I finish filming again.
Okay. How do you manage football season and production season?
It was really a blessing with the BMF schedule because they always start like kind of like winter, so it's like February, March, and then it'll go all the way up until June, July, and that's right when training camp starts.
Mm.
So what I had to sacrifice is missing OTAs, which is during the spring. I have to miss that, which
Okay,
is
what's that?
is voluntary. So
Okay.
OTAs is organized team activities and it's voluntary. Of course, they want you there, but
Yeah.
it's voluntary. So I didn't sign with a team during that period during OTAs. I signed during training camp right after I finished filming. So that's kind of it worked. Like the schedules just kind of boom,
No,
boom.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what is a skill that you have when like being on the field that you take into acting, if there is any?
It's kind of like a mindset. It's like, all right, next play. You know what I mean? Whether the play was good or whether the play was bad, you have to move on. So it's always like examples during football. I might have a touchdown. I might have a drop pass, but I have to move on. And then once I got on set, something like that happened to me. I messed up,
Mm.
a little bit during a table read because I wasn't, it was my first time. No one told me anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to go into the next play, and then I aced it. You know what I mean? Like I hit all my keys, had all my my lines, and it was good from there. So I just kind of used those same kind of mindsets.
Okay, and so about your character Sterling, are you anything like him in real life?
Right.
Or was it a
It's
complete
funny.
different
It's funny because I was really thinking about this. I asked myself this, but it was kind of during my whole time when I wasn't, acting and I was playing football. Form of practice for me is just building characters. Like I would be in the shower for an hour and I would just build characters, and I'm doing dialogue, with myself, and it's crazy because I was building a character very similar to Sterling. So when I got the audition, I seen the description. I'm like, I know exactly who I'm about to channel. And this just comes from taking different characters from movies that I like Paid in Full, Juice, just different characters, and I built it. So that's kind of how I took Sterling and made him.
Okay.
And Sterling is also, a real character also. So I tried to, take
Yeah.
what I learned from him, about him, and then add my own mix to it.
What can we expect to see from him with the rest and then moving forward? Whatever you could tell, because I know.
Yeah, Sterling, he makes his he comes back next week, for episode 6, and then he's finishing the season. But what you'll see from Sterling is a lot of aggression, violence, intimidation, but loyalty. He's very, very loyal to BMF. Y'all gonna see, once we make that, we have a situation that me and Meech goes through, and from there we're tied in. We're locked in just off of that situation. And I got his back. That's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see Sterling, man, holding it down for BMF.
Okay. I saw that you spoke with Russell Hornsby.
Mm-hmm.
And you like have a little bit of a connection with him now.
Right.
And then I saw that he gave you 4 books to read.
Yeah, it was 4. It was 4. Absolutely. I got him over here on my
well, and because you said they were to help you with acting, do you mind sharing them, or is that something that's like a personal to you?
I mean, I could tell you, I would get. I mean, I do kind of want to, just keep it.
Okay, one book, if you don't mind.
Can I grab the book for you?
Yeah.
I want y'all to see it. Here's the book. It's by Uta Hagen. It's Respect for Acting. This is one of the books. One of the first ones I began to read, which I gotta finish. But it's basically just her, having all of her practices and her wisdom from over the years. Like from what he was telling me, she's like the legend. She's the icon of this craft, and it's really just respecting the craft and taking it serious. And that's kind of what the speech he gave me. The speech probably lasted 35, 40 minutes. It just went on, and I really appreciate him for it.
I mean, he's a legend, like
a legend,
complete legend. So for him to, take time out his day to speak to you, then give you books, you follow up on them. Like I think that's dope, and that says a lot to your character. And then not only your character, but like your commitment to your craft.
Right. And that's what he said to me. And that's one of like the biggest compliments to me is like gaining the respect from your peers and your OGs and people that you idolize. And he was there for one of the scene that you're gonna see next week. He was there for it. He wasn't working, but he was, behind camera like one of the directors. But he seen the scene, and then he seen me the next day, and he embraced me. He was like, I don't know who you are, but this is something that you really want to do and take serious. Just let me know, because you got something. It was like one of those embracing moments. Because he was really, he just seen me working, and I reminded him like, hey, don't forget about me, don't forget about me. And he did not forget about me. He popped up, probably at the end of the week. We was in Detroit. He had the books, and that's when the conversation happened.
No, that's super dope. Did you get like chills or something? Because I would have been.
Yeah, I got it all on camera, man. I told my mom, I'm like, look, you got to record this. This is crazy.
In regards to sharing the screen with all the people, who that you shared the screen with was like your favorite, even if y'all were beefing on screen, on camera?
I have a lot of scenes with Meech, though. It's like all of my scenes involve Meech. I think I'm gonna continue to hype the one next week. I had a scene with Meech and Jalen Rose. That was dope. To be in a scene with Jalen Rose. Yeah. I'm like, man, we're 2 athletes and we're both acting. I'm like, this is history right here. I'm saying it to myself. I'm like, you don't even know it, but this is history. So all of that. But
no, keep hyping next week. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited for next week. So hype it. Yeah, I'm getting really excited. Because I'm thoroughly invested. Okay. Now, okay, so what's like a dream role for you, TV and film?
I don't know. I really want to do an action movie. I'm big into my stunts. I'm a boxer.
I saw.
Yeah, I'm a boxer or whatever. And even this season, season 2, they brought stunt doubles, and I turned them down every time. I was like, no, I got to do this. Just teach me the technique, teach me the choreography, and I got it. So action movie would be dope, like for
So wait,
sure.
you did your own stunts this whole season?
Yeah. I did from the knife, from my first scene. They gave it to me 2 hours before I had to shoot. Was like, learn it, YouTube it. So I was dedicated.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So yeah. Something with action. I definitely want to
Something
do
with
action.
action. Okay.
Maybe if it's a Creed 4, please put me in it. Please.
Let's speak that into existence.
Somebody, come on, man.
Okay, these are rapid fire questions.
Oh, whoa. Let's do it.
So don't really like think too much.
Okay.
So I do this segment, well, I'm building this segment as I build out my podcast, as seen in the comments, because when I talk to like my family, I'm like, you'll be surprised because they're like, you have really good comments. I'm like, no, I have to like go through and filter. Like people
Right.
are wild, so like what's probably one of the craziest comments, good or bad, but nothing sexual, I don't know what people say, but that you've seen in your comments.
I don't know. With sports, you gotta understand the fans are crazy. So I've gotten like death threats before. It gets pretty serious. God bless their soul, man.
That's for real.
Yeah, there's some evil people out there. So that would probably be the craziest.
That's wild. Now, yeah. I haven't seen that side of it. I've seen some negative,
yeah.
And if you can give your flowers to any actor and celebrity and athlete, who would you give your flowers to? Give them their flowers.
It has to be both.
You can choose one if you want. Or you can choose 5,
I can choose 5.
You choose as many as you want. I love giving flowers, so.
Okay. Well, I definitely got to give, my flowers to the GOAT. He about to, break the record for the most points in NBA history. LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
I got to give flowers to my idol. He's another athlete, but my idol, which is now like a big brother, Allen Iverson.
That's what's up.
A lot of inspiration from Allen Iverson, man. He deserves his flowers.
Absolutely.
I got to give flowers to Cuba Gooding Jr. He was one of the first actors to really embrace me at a young age. And he told me, it was like, you the future, He gave me one of those speeches. And he was another, just like Russell, but he was another one that embraced me on a movie that we did together. So definitely got to give my flowers to Cuba.
No, it's so crazy that you say that. I feel like we don't talk about him enough, but he's done so much iconic stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm happy you said that. Not like I didn't forget about him at all, but I'm like, I feel like we just don't talk about how much he's done in TV and film, especially in the era that he was like in everything,
Right. So, the negativity that's kind of surrounding him lately, I think it kind of just overshadows his greatness, but definitely got to give his flowers. And last, but definitely not least, Tyler Perry, man. Tyler Perry, I got to give him all the flowers. He changed my life, when he gave me that Medea's family reunion role, and forever indebted to him. Appreciate him.
So wait, okay, if you don't mind, changing your life, that's a heavy compliment. What happened about that changed your life?
I think that was like out of the 4 years, that was like my most, to this day, I walk in the kitchen and I see myself, my son get to look up there and see his dad just on BET because they play it so much, so that was like probably my biggest role. That's why I say, he changed my life because, they didn't have to cast me. Actually, the role that they wanted me for, I ended up being too young, and they just really liked me and ended up writing my role into it. And I got to do a scene with Cicely Tyson and Maya Angelou. That's iconic. So he changed my life.
No, absolutely. Since neither one is here anymore. So that's something that a lot of people is on their bucket list to work with, and they will never be able to, check it off.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right. I need to know like the weight of which, but you're right. He changed. Listen to that story. I agree. If money was no object, what would you do?
What would I do? I would probably get my own island. I get my own island and get away from the stress over here in the U.S.
Where would your island be? What, like
the Caribbean? I want to be somewhere close to like St. Thomas. I love that whole little area.
What actor or actress would you like to take a master class from?
Gotta go Denzel. I have to. You said master. I have to go
That's real.
Denzel. This is not rapid, but I just have to say that, Will Smith is one of the most talented actors ever. He's had so much range. So that's another one I would love to take classes from.
That's cool. You can have to listen.
So,
They're go. What TV show and or movie gives you black joy?
Black Joy.
Mhm.
Ooh. Life in the Wood.
You know, it's so funny. That movie gives me black joy as well. What do you prefer, comedy or drama?
Comedy.
This is just going back to the whole HBCU thing. Kind of in regards because you are an athlete and you did attend an HBCU. What do you feel is like the responsibility in giving back to the HBCU community?
I think it's very important. I mean, my first year after I made it to the league, that's when I started my scholarship, where I gave like a full scholarship for that semester to a walk-on because I was a walk-on. So for me, it's always about giving back, sharing your platform, and trying to make a change because we got it so hard, man. We have it very, very hard. Like if you see what Bethune-Cookman going through now. When I was in Grambling, my sophomore year, we went on strike, but we stuck together.
The athletes
Yes,
or
we
all
went on
the
strike. The football players went on strike, and we didn't play a game because of our conditions. So yeah, I wish Bethune-Cookman would stick together because we got results.
it's weird, like going to it's a love hate going to HBCU, but like once you go, it's like I'll never change that experience or anything, But it's like it takes a lot of patience.
They come with the struggle.
People, you know what I'm saying?
The struggle.